everybody, happy Wednesday. I hope you're all having a great week so far. Today we're going to jump back into the story A Tree for Emmy, and we're going to continue thinking about how characters enjoy and appreciate trees. Our learning target is the same as yesterday's. I can ask and answer questions about the character, setting, and major events in A Tree for Emmy. So remember, I'm going to be asking you some questions, and I want you, when you hear me ask you a question, to stop and think and answer that question out loud. But I also want you to think about what you're wondering. If you hear some words that you don't know what they mean, or if you are wondering, why is the character doing that? Please stop and answer them and ask them out loud. And you can share them with a family member, and maybe they might know the answer, or you could send your question to your teacher and they'll try to answer the question as well. But it's really important to ask and answer questions while you're reading to learn more about the story. While we're reading today, here's a big question that I have. And the big question that I have is, what is the same and different about the experiences of the characters in A Tree for Emmy? What is the same and different about the experiences of the characters? So we already know what same and different means. The same means things that are alike, and different means things that are not alike. They think differently, they act differently. So that's what we're going to be thinking about. And we're going to be thinking about what's the same about the experiences of the characters. So that means what's the same and different about how they act, about how they feel, and how they think. And we're going to be using a chart today while we're reading. And this is for us to record how the characters are the same and different. So what I've got here is I've got Emmy. Whoops, sorry, you can't see that. Emmy. And I've got Emmy's family. And I drew some little pictures to remind myself. And then I've got 3 sections. I've got the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. And what we're going to be doing while we're reading today and tomorrow is we're going to be thinking about what Emmy does in the beginning, what Emmy's family does in the beginning, and if that's the same or different. And then we'll do the same for the middle and the end. So if you're wondering what that means, that's what that's about. And we'll come back to that in just a little bit. So let's get started thinking about how Emmy and her family are the same or different. A Tree for Emmy. Emmy loved all kinds of trees. Oak trees with acorns, pine trees with cones, willows with long swishy branches. But best of all, Emmy loved the mimosa tree in Grandma's pasture. In spring, Emmy swung from the tree's strong, low branches. "Look at me," she shouted. "I'm a possum, swinging by my tail." "I declare, Emmy," said Grandma, "that old tree is a lot like you, stubborn and strong and a little bit wild." I'm going to pause here. How are trees important to Emmy? How is Emmy enjoying the tree on this page? That's right, Emmy is swinging from the tree's branches. So I'm going to show you this important tree word word, swing. Swing has an S and a W in the front, so it says sw. And then we hear the ing sound, and ing is I-N-G. Swing has swing, 1 syllable. And swing means to move back and forth. So Emmy is swinging or moving back and forth from the branches. And that is one way that she enjoys the tree. Let's keep reading. In summer, the tree was covered with fuzzy pink blossoms. Emmy put 1 blossom over each ear. "Look at me," she called. "I'm a fuzzy bug with pink buggy feelers." Remember, if there's any words that you're not sure what they mean, now is the time to ask. In fall, the tree's seed pods covered the ground. When Emmy shook them, the pods rattled like maracas. my tree, my beautiful tree," Emmy sang. She danced around the pasture, shaking the pods. Stubborn and strong, and a little bit wild, just like me. Emmy's yard didn't have a mimosa tree. It had willows and oaks and pines. They're nice, Emmy said, but they're not stubborn and wild. They're not like me. Let's pause here for a second. Let's think about what Emmy does in the beginning of the story and what we notice some of her family members doing in the beginning of the story. So thinking back to what you saw on the first few pages, what are some ways that Emmy was enjoying the tree, or what is Emmy doing? Go ahead and answer that out loud. That's right, Emmy is swinging from the tree's branches. So on our chart here, I'm going to draw that. Emmy is swinging. She's swinging upside down. What a stubborn and wild girl. Wow, looks like a lot of fun though. All right, so Emmy is swinging from the branches. Anything else that Emmy is doing in the beginning of the story? Oh, that's right. She takes the seed pods and shakes them like a maraca. Draw some motions here to show that she's shaking them. Great. Now, we know that Emmy is swinging and shaking the maracas. What about her family? So in the very beginning, let's see which family members we see her interact with. It's just Emmy on these pages. Oh, we see a grandma. That's somebody in her family. And we see her little sister. Are Grandma and her little sister enjoying the tree also? Are they hanging from the tree? Are they shaking the maracas? No, they're not doing that. So Grandma is just talking, is watching Emmy, so she's not playing in the tree. And little sister, what is little sister doing? Right, little sister is playing in the sandbox. So her family is not enjoying the trees like she is. So now when I look over in this column, it says, is it the same or different? Are they doing the same thing or are they doing something different? That's right, they're doing something different. So I'm going to write the letter D here for different to remind myself that that is something that's not the same. They're not both enjoying trees in the same way. Let's keep reading the middle part of the story now, which is her birthday, and thinking about how what Emmy and her family is doing is the same or different. Emmy's birthday came in the summer. I want a mimosa tree for my birthday, she said. What would you do with a mimosa tree? Asked Mama, I would love it and water it and play with it, said Emmy. Okay then, said Daddy. Let's go buy a mimosa tree. But buying a mimosa tree was not so easy. A mimosa, said the man at the garden. At the garden store, we don't have any of those. Why not? Asked Emmy. Mimosas grow wild. We don't sell them. Why not? Asked Emmy. You don't buy wildflowers, do you, young lady? Said the man. Stores don't sell clovers and dandelions. But clovers and dandelions are pretty. Pay attention to what her family is doing as well as what Emmy's doing. Sorry, said the lady at the next shop. No one sells wild trees. But it's going to be my birthday present, said Emmy. The lady smiled. Well, we have plum trees and peach trees. Sweetie, they will give you a nice a nice fruit. But they don't have fuzzy pink flowers, said Emmy. Here's a tulip tree, said the lady. It has lovely pink blossoms in the spring. Are they fuzzy? Asked Emmy. No, said the lady. Do they have rattly seed pods that shake, shake, shake? Asked Emmy. No, said the lady. Pink fuzz and seed pods make a dreadful mess. I'm sure your parents wouldn't want that. We want what Emmy wants, said Daddy. Come on, Emmy, we'll find something else for your birthday. So I want you to think. What is Emmy doing in the middle of the story when it's her birthday? Go ahead and share your answer out loud. That's right. She asks for a mimosa tree and she goes to the stores to look for one. So I'm going to draw Emmy, maybe a speech bubble to show that she's asking for a mimosa tree. And maybe I can draw the tree to show that that's what she's asking for. And then she goes to the shops, the garden shops, to try to buy one. Now let's think about Emmy's family. What is Emmy's family doing in the middle of the story? Go ahead and share your answer out loud. That's right, Emmy's family also goes with her to the garden stores to try to buy a mimosa tree. So Emmy and her family both go to the garden stores to try to buy a mimosa tree. When you think about that part of the story, they're both going to look for a mimosa tree. Is that the same or different? That's right, it's the same. So I'm going to write an S for same because they're both trying to get mimosa trees in this part of the story. All right, we're going to pause here for today for this story. Tomorrow, we're going to go towards the end of the story and figure out if what Emmy does at the end of the story is the same or different from what her family does. I hope you enjoyed today's story. See you later.